Hello and welcome to another Blitzcraft game. I am your host, LiquidJinx, and this is game 2 of MtnDew and Onfire. So we have Onfire, the blue Protoss, spawning in the top left-hand corner, and we have MtnDew, the teal Terran, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. This is on the map Taladaram Altar. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. It is a pretty interesting map with a fairly easy natural to defend. Some nice choke points, nice ramp. There is, however, a back way from your natural to another. I guess you could say another natural you could take with rocks, but it's pretty wide open. So we have Onfire scouting first off with his probe, going to the right side of the map. Unfortunately, MtnDew is not there. We have MtnDew throwing down his supply depot. And it looks like Onfire is throwing down his gateway. Around the same time MtnDew is throwing down his barracks. Now this is a TVP, TVP game. It should be fairly interesting, being the fact that it is a master versus master game or master versus high diamond game, and in general TVP is pretty good, just because there's so many different ways Terran and Protoss players can go, and the fact that Terran players have ghosts, which totally fucks up Protoss, using the EMP to take away their shields. We have Onfire throwing down his second pylon, and MtnDew throwing down a fast expand to his natural. We saw him do this in the first game against Onfire when Onfire was playing Terran, and it seemed to work pretty well. Protoss, it's going to be interesting as well. Oh, my bad. I mean, when MtnDew was playing Protoss, their first game was PvP or PvP. Yeah. And he did a relatively fast expand. I believe it was probably around 20 or so. He got his Nexus down. He did, however, lose it right after he put it up, and then he threw another one down. So it'll be interesting to see if he loses this, if he loses his natural again, or if he's able to save it. But dude, there's some scouting of his own with his SUV, and it looks like he is gonna send up 2 Marines to do some. Onfire still warping in those Immortals. Got another gateway coming. I would like to see him try and tech towards a Colossi. That would greatly help him against all these Marines. And that bunker. The Immortal will help to tank the damage from the bunker, but he definitely needs a Colossi. MtnDew still sending in those Marines, getting up those 2 refineries, so it looks like he might be teching. Yeah, there goes his factory, so we might actually see siege tanks or Thors. Probability is they probably will be siege tanks. Oh, and it looks like Onfire was able to take out the bunker. And there go all the Marines. And it looks like MtnDew will be canceling that bunker and that command center that he had going. Looks like he still has some rallied Marines here, and they are going to be killed. Toodaloos. Oh gosh, their Immortals look so badass. But they definitely do not look like anything with the picture. And it looks like Onfire will be doing some pushing of his own. MtnDew realizing that he probably will be doing this, has thrown up 2 bunkers and filled them up with Marines. That will be a problem for Onfire, but I can't see it being too much of a problem as he has 2 Immortals. Should be able to tank both bunkers by sending in the Immortals first and using the Stalkers to target fire. However, if he doesn't send those Immortals in first to soak up the fire of the bunkers, it will be a problem. Looks like MtnDew actually took his Marines out of the bunker. Oh! And MtnDew trying to pick off the Immortals, but the Hardened Shield is going to tank that. MtnDew does have a power here. Looks like the flat set is going to be taken out. Look at sending some SUVs in to repair them. They are going to die. MtnDew's got a lot of Marines coming. Looks like MtnDew is using the SUVs and whatnot, Warlord's mad to stall so he can get some Marines out. This is going to be crazy. This might be the end of it for MtnDew. He's sending in all his SUVs, stemming his Marines. There goes 1 Immortal, taking out those Zealots. Oh! And it looks like MtnDew's able to beat him! Taking out the 2nd Immortal. There goes the Sentry and the Stalker. But MtnDew has lost almost all of his SUVs in the process. It looks like he's going to be chasing down these Zealots. Onfire pulling back his Stalkers now. MtnDew, he might be able to see that proxy pylon. No, he's not going to see the proxy pylon. He should be scouting for it, taking the Zelnaga towers. But he isn't. MtnDew throwing down another orbital, another command center. It looks like he will be expanding to the destructible rocks here, and it looks like he might actually be doing a push to get back to somehow stall Onfire from getting ahead of him. Looks like Onfire. Onfire throwing down 2 more pylons at his natural. It looks like he's got a bunch of sentries. Well, it looks like MtnDew is actually going to do a 2-pronged attack here. Oh! And those sentries are going to be toast. The force fields came up way too late to block those Marines from coming in, taking out that pylon. And it looks like these Marines are just going to have a joy time here, taking out all the probes almost. Looks like he will be taking out that Nexus now. Onfire, it looks like the tables have turned for Onfire. MtnDew doing what Onfire just did to him moments ago. But it looks like he's actually going to be pulling back now, not realizing that Onfire has nothing in his base except for 4 Zealots. But it looks like MtnDew will be playing it safe, returning these Marines. I would like to see him take that Zelnaga tower and this one, and possibly this one up here. But MtnDew or Onfire has yet to take the Zelnaga towers. It's usually a good thing to have. And it looks like MtnDew is destroying these rocks now to drop his command center. It looks like Onfire and MtnDew are basically microing up, getting upgrades for their units. MtnDew with a Raven out already. Looks like he's got a second Raven out. He will be using the point defense drones on them, or he also has a secret missile upgrade, so we might actually see secret missiles coming out from these Ravens. I have seen MtnDew use the point defense drones before against a Colossi attack. It really does help against the Stalkers. The Marines take out the Colossi, while the Ravens use the the PDD to take out the Stalkers' laser shooting fingers from their face. Onfire throwing down his third way off in the middle of nowhere. Probably not the smartest thing. That's a long way to walk if MtnDew discovers it and decides to take it out. A better place would have been one of these two places over here. Even though they are closer to MtnDew, MtnDew has a long way to walk to get over there, and it's a quick little jaunt from his base to there, or even there. Or he could actually it'd probably be safer for him to take this one, opposed to MtnDew taking the same one on his side of the base, just because Onfire has an easier reach of getting to this one than MtnDew has of getting to this one, just because of where they're situated on the map. And it looks like MtnDew is using a scan, flying his Ravens up, so we're going to be seeing MtnDew throw down some auto turrets here on the mineral line. Probably not the best mineral line to do this with, as he's almost out of minerals, but he will be able to take out the probes, which will slow down income. Throwing down some turrets to actually take out the gas miners, and then flying away. Onfire gonna come back, but it's maybe too late to save those probes. It looks like actually one way. And now it looks like MtnDew is actually gonna be going to his main base, as the rest of his army's up in the main base. He will be flying to the natural to throw down some auto turrets. There they go. But it looks like Onfire was quick on the draw on those probes. And it looks like MtnDew will be just keeping these Ravens here for later use, just in case Onfire decides to push out. He can come in and take out his economy. MtnDew still pumping out a heavy amount of Marines. I believe he thinks he can take out Marines. I believe he thinks he can use massed Marines against Colossi, Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries. I don't know how well that's going to work for him. MtnDew taking his fourth in a relatively safe spot, opposed to taking this one that is closer than him. He has realized that it is closer to Onfire being able to attack it, and harder for him to defend it than opposed to this one that is a bit farther away. Unlike Onfire, the same situation for the mineral patches over here. This is easier for him to defend than MtnDew to attack it, just because of their cross position. And it looks like MtnDew's actually got 4 Ravens up. Looks like he almost lost a Raven there. That could have been because he flew over. Yeah, it looks like there's a Stalker there. And it looks like MtnDew is actually going to go in for the push. He's got a few medivacs that will help against the Colossi. I do not know if the Colossi has the thermal reach on it. Yes, it looks like the Colossi does have the thermal reach. He has upgraded it. And it looks like Onfire actually going to take the Zeldaga Tower. Or to do, yeah, it looks like he was just going to take the Zeldaga Tower, but here comes MtnDew with a huge Marine push. And here comes his Ravens. He might actually use the secret missiles on the Colossi, as well as the PDD against the Stalkers. This is going to be fairly interesting. There go the PDD. Looks like he will be stemming up. There go the secret missiles, taking out the Zealots. Throwing down more PDDs. There go the Colossi and the Stalkers. Throwing down some auto turrets. And Onfire trying to warp in more Stalkers, but it's over. He's setting in the probes now, but they are going to die. And there is the GG from Onfire. So that is game 2 of the best of 3 against Onfire and MtnDew. MtnDew coming out overall with a 2-0 win to loss ratio. Onfire losing 2 and MtnDew winning 2. So I am your host, LiquidJinx from BlitzCraft, and I hope to see you guys soon.